All right, so welcome to the continuation of the price elasticities. So we are talking now about, apart from the home price elasticity, we are talking about the cross price elasticity. What happens to the demand for a good when the price of a complement or a substitute changes? So the notations have changed slightly here. Instead of PED, we have it as elasticity E, X, and Y, meaning that they are cross, okay? So how will a percentage change in price of good Y impact the quantity demanded of good X? So how would QD, quantity demand of good X, change? You can rewrite this to be change in PY over change in QS. Okay. Our old elasticities that we computed, it was change in P over change in Q because it's the same good. So we could have said change in PX over change in QS, meaning that it's the same good, right? But here we are saying change in PY is a different good. The price of a good changes. What happens to quantity demanded of the other good? Times price of good Y over quantity demanded of good X. So it's cross price, X and Y, okay? So that is what that is what we mean by cross price elasticity. Science contains useful information about the relationship between good X and good Y. Okay. So when you have cross price elasticity being greater than 0 in absolute terms, then we are saying that good X and Y are substitutes. It means that an increase in price of good Y leads to an increase in demand for good X. It means they move in the same direction, then they are substitutes. Okay. But an increase in price of good Y, if it leads to a reduction in demand for good X, that means that those two products are complements. Okay. All right. So these are the notations for cross price elasticity. If you compute it, change in QX over change in PY times PY over QX, and you get a positive greater than 0, it means they are substitutes. They go an increase in price of the other products leads to a higher demand for your product. So they are substitutes. Application of cross price elasticity. Cross price elasticity is useful for pricing related commodities, okay? Especially firms that sell multi-products. So if you are a supermarket, they sell a lot of products. They can decide that, okay, one product is not moving so well. Okay, so maybe Ideal Milk and Kanishi or some other milk, peak milk. Maybe peak milk is not going so well. So what do? I want more people to buy peak milk. So I increase the price of Ideal Milk. If I increase the price of Ideal Milk and there is a strong cross price elasticity, it means that those who are buying Ideal Milk will now move to peak milk, which will lead to a higher demand for peak milk. So you make more money on it because you are moving the demand from one that is not moving, that one that is more pricey or valuable to another one that the demand is not moving so fast. Okay, so it's very important that you understand cross price so that you can manage your products that are substitutes and complements. Okay. All right. So let's take an example how we apply this. If good X and Y are related, we can show that the overall impact of a small change in price of good X on total sales from X and Y. So if you change the price of, say, Ideal Milk, you increase the price of Ideal Milk, what happens to the demand for peak milk? And at the end, because you own the supermarkets, the important thing is what happens to your revenue. Okay. So we will go through an example so that that becomes clearer. To compute how a small change in price of good X will have on the sale of good X and also that of Y. This is the equation for that. Change in R, this is a change in R, difference in changes in R. The changes in R mean a change in your total revenue. It will be equal to Rx, okay? Revenue from good X plus E1 plus EXX. EXX here is the elasticity for the own price elasticity, the goods own elasticity, when the price of the good changes. Okay, into bracket plus the revenue from good Y, okay, times the cross price elasticity, okay, or bracket close, times percentage change in price. So you are going to change price of good X by a certain percentage, and you want to see how the changes in the price of that good impacts the revenue from that for the full firm. Okay, so R is the total revenue, Rx and Ry are total revenues from good X and Y, and EXX is the own price elasticity. EYX is the cross price elasticity. Okay, so let's take an example. Suppose a Kenke seller's total sales, let me make sure I'm recording this. Suppose a Kenke seller's sales typically include 800 from Kenke and 1,500 from fish. So the Kenke seller is selling a product that have a cross price elasticity. Okay, so 800 from fish. So he knows that he gets 800 Ghana from fish Kenke every day, and 500 from fish. If the own price elasticity of demand for is 1.3, and the cross price elasticity is minus 3.5, by how much would the Kenke seller's revenue change if she decreases the price of Kenke by 5%? Okay. So the own price is 1.3, cross price is 3.5. The Kenke seller is thinking, maybe I can increase I can decrease the price of Kenke by 5%. How would that affect my revenue for Kenke and that of fish? Okay. If I reduce Kenke price by 5%, maybe people will buy more fish, and for that reason, I'll make more money. These are the analysis or people buy more Kenke, and then they'll buy less fish, and I'll still make more money. So what is the effect? Okay, this is what we are going to use this equation. The change in revenue will be the original revenue from Kenke, okay, which is 800, plus 1 minus the elasticity from Kenke, which is minus 1.3, plus the revenue from fish, which is 1,500, and the cross price elasticity, all times the percentage change that the Kenke seller is thinking of implementing, which is 5%. But remember, it's a decrease. Kenke seller is planning to decrease the price by 5%. Okay. So this is what you get. Revenue from Kenke 800, 1, elasticity is minus 1.3. Here you are not using the absolute values because we are not evaluating it. Okay. Yep. So it's minus 1.3 plus 1,500 revenue from fish. Cross price is minus 3.5. And then you have the planned reduction in price is minus 5%. Okay. If you calculate that, the change in revenue is a plus of 204.5. It means that if you can get, given the cross price elasticities, and you can already see that the cross price elasticity is 3.5, it means it has a very high cross price elasticity. And even our own price elasticity is also very high. So if you reduce Kenke price, people will buy more Kenke. And for that reason, people will also buy the complement more. Okay. So a 5% reduction in price of Kenke leads to a 274.5 Ghana cedis increase in revenue. Okay. So that is what you are analyzing. You saw a different product. You want to see if I change the price of one, will that change the substitute and complement in the market, in my shop? So supermarket, okay. Or you have a bunch of services that you are selling. A reduction in one can trigger an increase in demand of the others, and including the same product, and you will have more money. Okay. So in other words, reducing the price of Kenke by 5% will increase the total revenue by 274.5. So if you reduce the clinker price by 5%, that will be the effect of that on the revenue. Okay. So that is the intuition behind this. Okay. All right. So we will deal with the last elasticity. We are measures the income elasticity of demand. So this is the third one that I mentioned in the previous class, in the session. Income elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of demand to changes in income. If your income changes by a small amount, what happens to demand for the product? Okay. What happens to the demand for the product? So that will be the change in income. So DM, change in M is changing your income. How will a change in income impact your change in demand for the good X? Okay. And that will be times income, average income over the quantity, the initial quantity. Okay. So you can evaluate that. You can easily compute that change also. Okay. A measure, and as we said, it's a measure of the responsiveness of quantity demanded to changes in income. If the elasticity that you compute, if it is between 0 and 1, okay, less than 1, okay, then the product is a necessity. Okay, so you can say it's inelastic, so it's a necessity. Okay. If it's between 0 and 1, 1 included and 0 included, then it's a normal good. Normal good is a good that as your income increases, you buy more. Okay, so that can also include 1. Okay, so you can say that necessities are normal goods. So necessities fall within the normal goods. If the elasticity is less than 0, if it's minus, then it's an inferior good. So as your income increases, you buy less. It's negative. It's an inferior good. And if it's greater than 1, then it's a luxury. As your income increases by 1%, you're already going around asking for. You just got a 10% salary increase, and you are asking for the price of a Mercedes. Okay, so in economics we say money illusion. Okay, so you're already asking for the price of a Mercedes. Okay, so that is the elasticity, how you evaluate the income elasticity of demand. So keep in mind, own price elasticity, cross price elasticity, substitute and complement, the directional effect, and then income elasticity. Okay. Maybe one more thing before I switch to the next topic. You can write a bigger model, including all these income and price elasticity as in a form that will help you analyze the demand. Okay, so I can say demand, quantity demanded of good X equals 25 minus 3P, the demand equation that we know already, minus 3P, plus, remember I'm keeping in mind that there's the P, 3PX, okay, because it's the good X, okay, good X, and then I can say that 2PY, 2PY, so good Y, the price of good Y, the coefficient is 2. So it means that as the price of good Y increases, more of good X is bought. It's positive. Okay, so it means that PY and good X are substitutes. An increase in PY leads to higher demand for good X. Okay, and I can add P1. Okay, it can be maybe 3 or 4 minus 4 PZ. Okay, that means there's a negative relationship between the price of good Z and demand for good X. So as the price of good Z increases, demand for good X will fall. It means they are complements. The higher the price of the complement, the lower the demand for the product. Okay, so these are the two cross prices: complements and substitutes. And I can add the last one, maybe to income, M. Okay. And it means that as your income increases by a small amount, you buy more of the good. Okay. So you buy 2 more units of the good. So these are the elasticities. Okay. The equation, for the full equation for demand when we are not holding a lot of things constant. Okay. We are making your income flexible. So income can impact demand, substitute can impact demand, and then own price can also impact demand. Okay. So change in Q, like elasticity of income elasticity is going to be the change Q2 minus Q1 over the change in price. We are doing the income elasticity. So change in price, change in M, the money. So here is your M. So that will be M2 minus M1, okay? Because we are doing the change times, it's not own price. So it's not P2 minus P1. This is income elasticity. So times the average income, or can do the average income, or M1 times the initial M over the initial quantity. So you have this. Okay, then that will be for the income elasticity. E M. Oops. Okay, so that will be for the income elasticity. So you can do that, and then you can do the cross price, changing Q2 minus Q1 X, so good X over the price of good Y if you are doing cross price elasticity. All right, thank you so much for following this lecture. I'll record the second half of the class. Okay, I'll end it here so that I can save the audio, the video.